thank you very much for having me. It's lovely to be here at the Comedy Festival. It's an exciting year for me. I got these glasses. What do you reckon? Yep, thank you. This is the look I'm going for, right? Tell me if this resonates with anyone in the room, right? I'm going for marketing fuckboy. That won't pay for, but definitely knows where to get cocaine. Is that coming through? Terrific. Okay, they're a good purchase. I went to a very bad school. Also, I had a very weird, upbringing at my school. My dad growing up, he never wanted to, make me school lunches. He hated the idea of doing that. So every day he wanted to, give me money for lunch, right? But he had no idea how to ballpark how much, a 12 or 13-year-old boy would need for lunch, right? So this is 100% true. For 5 years of high school, every day, my dad gave me $25 for lunch. 25. Normally people fall off their chairs when I say that, but some high rollers in here, some caviar. At your school, was there? I had $25 a day. Oh my God. Straight away I went into the Forbes High School Rich List. It was crazy. I had so much cash. All the other kids knew. They were trying to get deals out of me, right? But I was always distracted at school, so I always used to go... My favourite subject at school was sex education, right? Love sex education. Best subject ever, right? Never learned a single thing at sex education, right? This is what sex ed... I went to a very bad school, so this is what sex ed was at my school. A gym teacher would wheel out, this cartoon VHS of, two cats hugging, right? And then there'd be, some love hearts on the screen, and then they'd start kissing. They'd be like... Right? And then a very funky bass track would kick in. It'd be like... dung-da-dung-da-dung-da-dung-da-dung-da-dung-da-dung. And that... was fucking it. That was my whole sex education. They were we've taught you all we can. Get out there, get into it. We didn't even get to see the two cats having sex. That at least kind of would have been helpful for when I finally went to have sex. I could have been actually, don't worry, I've seen two cats do this. I'm not sure where the tail is, but let's crack on. But I'll never forget it, right? One day sex education got so good, it was the best, right? The teacher, she wheeled out this cartoon VHS, but then she stopped it, she paused it, and she started talking to us, like we were adults, right? Like we weren't the 13-year-old grubs that we actually were. It was amazing. And she said this to us. She started talking about consent, right? An issue that's more prevalent and maybe more important now than ever before. And she said this. She was like, girls, you can always say no. It doesn't matter what the situation is, you can always say no, right? It's up to you, right? Picture this. You're in a car, you're making out with a boy, you're wet. You can still say no. And the response in that classroom, very similar to this room right now. A bunch of 13-year-olds heard that and they were just like... What did you hear? Well, we're 13, right? Well, she's paid by the government, right? Well, and then in one of the most amazing acts of humanity I've ever seen, all our brains just came together and synced, and we were just like, fuck, she said wet, and I thought the roof was going to blow off this classroom. People lost their minds. It was insanity, right? Desks were getting flown. Someone threw a chair out the window. Because we were 13 up until that point. We never really even heard the concept of wet. Sure, it's in a weather report, but it's not really the same thing. It's like when a dog gets in the school. We're just we don't know what to do right now. This has never come up, ever. 10 to 15 minutes, I reckon, we lost to this in the classroom, right? It was pandemonium, right? Finally, the teacher's slowly getting control of the class. People are getting desks back. Someone went and got the chair from outside. We're just sitting there going, this is probably the best day ever, right? And I'll never forget this moment for as long as I live, right? A kid called Carl Elliott put up his hand. He said, Miss, and she said, yes, Carl. And he said, Miss, why did she piss herself? And I thought the roof actually was going to blow off this time. People went crazy. Forget about death. Someone was swinging off a fan. Someone lit a fire in the back of the room. Another kid was in blackface. It was terrible, right? And that kid, Carl Elliott, he got bullied for the next 3 to 4 years. Obviously, I didn't do it. I paid someone to do it. I had a lot of disposable income from my lunch money. Hey, guys, that is my time. I've been Sam Todd. You guys have been terrific.